My name is Gregory Hamilton, and this is the Highway to Heaven in 88 Steps. And today is another day of doing the same thing, of taking one brick each and every single day so that we can slow down and ask ourselves a very scary question. What is it that I want to do with my God-given life? And what does God want me to do with my God-given life? And this is a very scary question to ask, because what if we get the answer? Okay, and this is why it's very important to know what your intentions are and keep yourself focused, knowing that you're building a highway to talk to God, so that when other things that are scary in life that come and happen, you're able to keep yourself, again, focused, knowing that you're not alone, okay? That there's always a plan that God has for you. And He can't tell you, her, the plan if we're not listening. We will sometimes like to blame and say other things are why it's not happening, because God doesn't speak to me, as we just fly down this highway in every direction with no roadmap, no intention, constantly changing and looking for new. Okay? And so this is a very scary, scary thing that's happening right now, because we're getting ready to start day 32. It's the first day of the second month. This is a very serious thing. We're gathering our employees around us now, getting ourselves refocused for this new milestone and mile marker. We know what we're trying to do. We know what we are doing. We can look behind us in our notebook and see what's happening. And so now we're going forward. We're continuing into a scary new territory. And what happens, and why a lot of times we want to stop doing this kind of work and process, is because we now no longer have anyone else to blame. You can blame your employee, but he's going to say the employer didn't give him the directions correctly. And who are you going to blame? God for not talking to you? So when we go throughout our day-to-day lives, we're going to have people that will help us, and we're going to have people that hinder us, and we're going to have ourselves are going to help people, and us ourselves are going to hinder people, if we realize it or not. Sometimes we're not aware of what we say to others and how it's taken and how it affects them and how it hurts their feelings. So, we all have a lot to be thankful that there's grace in God's life that He gives us. And that's what makes it scary. Truly scary. You can only blame yourself from this point forward when you're working on your highway. It's your highway. It's your intentions. It's your focus. What is your goal? Right? I mean, we're starting day 32, a brand new month. You've only invested a month in this. If you are on the wrong highway, go and get yourself the whatever it is that you're looking for and drive by us on our highway. Honk when you do, wave. Okay? So if we want to sit there and say, I hear what I want to do with my God-given life, and we're brave enough to hear it and write it down, there's really no more excuses on why it can't be achieved. At least working towards it, correct? And this is why it's scared, because it is up to us. We are going to have to work hard doing this. If we don't, who is going to do it for us? Yourself, you, and your employee, us. God. Okay? So when we go through life in your past, I don't know if it happens to you, but in my past, I've made mistakes. But I did something. And that's what we have to do now. It's day 32. You have to do something. You have to do something to see if it was correct or wrong. If you put the brick down wrong, just like day 1 of last month, we talk about it. We show you again. We redo it. We get our plans together. Well, now we're in day 2 of the next month. Refocus. Up to you to do something. And if you do it wrong again, it's so easy to correct. We go right back to our notebook. Correct? And this is what most people are afraid of, is the change of doing and being responsible for their own thoughts. Because that's all you have to do, is just be responsible for your own thoughts. The rest will follow. But when you're that open and honest about building a highway, when you're really that honest about it and serious about it, there is no one else to blame. There's hindrances, there's mountains and trees and cliffs and pitfalls and valleys and rivers and all kinds of things that are going to come along that will have to be navigated and overcome. It's never slowed down a highway in the past. Why is it going to slow down yours? There is absolutely nothing to fear but the fear of failure. Let me break a little bit to you. You've already failed in your life 100 times, 1,000,000 times, or whatever. I mean, you've succeeded in a lot of things, correct? But it's the fear of failing that keeps people from going forward and keeping them on this rat race of trying to find some sort of physical happiness in Joyville. So don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to accept the failure of doing something. I pray for you, and I pray for America.